Hey y'all, hey y'all. Hey, 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 hey. What is up? What is up? What is up on this Good Friday? It is Good Friday, y'all. It is Good Friday. And a Good Friday to each and every one of you all. We are here. I can't get adjusted in my damn seat. Shit. All right. What's up, y'all? We here. See who in the chat. Hey, Jason. Hey, Quintessential. Hey, Belize. Oh, boy. Y'all know. Belize is here to drag the people with reckless abandon. I'm here for it. So, we are here for a politics of it all. Cha. My goal, listen, y'all, my goal is to make it through without grabbing this watermelon Red Bull. I'm just trying. Fish sticks, I got fish sticks. I got some fish sticks in there, but I'm not having fish sticks today. I just finished some sushi that was so good. Hey, Tanya, boo. Mm, Ciao. I did have some sushi just a bit ago that I just finished, but no fish sticks. Every time I say fish sticks, I think about that South Park episode with Kanye West where they said he was gay for fish because he said I love fish sticks, and he instead of fish sticks, I love fish dicks, which sounds just like if you say it fast enough, fish sticks and fish dicks sound the same. So that was the whole Kanye West is gay for fish episode. Child, hey Karen. Child. Oh, we not. Oh, yeah, we're not supposed to eat meat. I'm not Catholic. I thought that was just a Catholic thing. Ain't no alcohol in here, honey. I should put some in there. That's this beautiful mango punch that I was given. Um, where it came from? I think it came from Whole Foods or something. I have to look at the label and see what it is. But child, child. Um, in case of sugar spikes, this is our candy and snacks right now. Chewy lemon heads, bear, and this is the berry, the awesome berry edition. That's in case of sugar spikes. We got that. Add some vodka to it, child. This mango punch is so good. So I know whatever I add to it is gonna be so good. Child. I'm cracking Catholic jokes, but you are slow dripping, my child. Child. Hey, Karen Alexander. So y'all, we gonna we're gonna try to. I'm doing my best not to go over here and snatch up one of these cans of watermelon Red Bull. We got watermelon. Yesterday we had peach nectarine Red Bull, which was so good. But I got the goat. The goat is the watermelon. Watermelon is the best flavor of Red Bull. But I'm gonna try not to take it. Cha. Yeah, that's the new school lemonade, honey. New school. So, child, that's what we got today. That's what we got. You know, these young kids, they like everything cushiony. That's why they got chewy lemonades now. Back in the day, you had them hard lemonades that damn near chipped the tooth. Okay, these are the same kids that I told y'all. They have the little foam little pieces on their playground and shit like that, or wood chips or something real nice and comfortable and all plastic on their playgrounds. When our asses had concrete and metal instruments of death that used to burn your guy. When you live in a place like Miami, where it's been baking in the sun all day, you try to slide on the slide and you go down like this, because your legs get stuck every 3 inches, and now you got third-degree burns on the back of your goddamn legs because you just tried to get on the slide. Don't try and get up and grab the monkey bars and burn your goddamn hands with third degree burns, dear God. Don't get me started on this young generation, Generation Zers and stuff. Child, child. Right, no shade, no nothing. Shit, just out there baking in the sun all day long. You go out for PE or recess or whatever, and now you out there damn near in the ninth level of hell. Child, don't get me started. Do not get me. Remember the little thing they used to go round and round and round? What was the I don't think it was called the merry-go-round, but the thing they used to go round and round and round and round and round, that you used to get on, and used to damn near always had somebody always got sick on that thing. Somebody was always vomiting when they were on there every single day, and now you got vomit ricocheting off of everything on the goddamn playground. Just a goddamn mess. Just a damn mess. Speaking of a goddamn mess, we're here to talk politics. With the politics of it all. Oh, yes, we are here to talk politics. Hey, Kelly Hounds, Hans. Did I say that right? I think it's Hans, not Hounds. Anyway, y'all, hold on, y'all. I got an email that came in from work. Let me look at that real fast. Make sure ain't nobody trying to bother me with nothing. Ain't damn bitch bothering me with nothing frivolous. Hold on. Let me make sure. I don't need no frivolous emails bothering me. Um, with no foolishness. Generation Zero, you know what? Just something. They real soft. They real soft. They is real soft. Real soft. Anyway, child, why y'all bothering me? Damn it. Don't you hate when you listen, when you've said to yourself, self, I ain't doing nothing else today. I'm off, and then these people come bothering you with a stupid ass email. Dear God above. Anyway, anyway, um, of no consequence. So let me start off today by. So we're gonna start off with some gubernatorial candidate news. We'll start off here. Start off light, and this is what we consider light. So, oh, let me do this before I forget and somebody gets mad because I know they're gonna be in the bushes watching or they're gonna be watching the replay. Thank you all so very much for coming over here and joining us here for the politics of it all. And if you would, sir, ma'am, and non-binary, non-gender conforming members of the viewership, please hit the like, share, subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, and hit all so that you're notified each and every time we go live here on this channel. All right, now that that's over, praise God. Did my first one. Did my first one. I got two more to go, okay? Two more. Anyway, so Trump backed Nebraska gubernatorial candidate is accused of groping several women. Yeah. Child. 8 women, including a Republican state senator, have come forward to accuse Charles Herbster, a frontrunner in Nebraska's GOP gubernatorial primary, who is endorsed by former President Donald Trump, of sexual assault or other grossly inappropriate behavior, according to a report published yesterday. The Nebraska Examiner reports Herbster, the CEO of Conklin Company, stands accused by Nebraska State Senator Julie Slama, Republican of District 1, of reaching up her skirt in the middle of a crowded ballroom during the Douglas County Republican Party's annual Elephant Remembers dinner in 2019. Let me read that again for the people in the back because maybe y'all ain't hear it. Let me read that again. Hold on. Juices were good today. Let me read that in the back. Mind you, this is the GOP gubernatorial candidate, primary candidate, who's assaulting a GOP state senator. Let me read that again. So y'all think I'm making this up. Just a mess. The Nebraska Examiner reports that Charles Herbster, the CEO of Conklin Company, stands accused by Nebraska State Senator Julie Slama, Republican of District 1, of reaching up her skirt in the middle of a crowded ballroom during the Douglas County Republican Party's annual Elephant Remembers dinner in 2019. Oh, there are a total of 8 women that have come forward, a total of 8 thus far. Thus far. Another event attendee told the Examiner that they witnessed the assault. That person and 2 others also said they saw Herbster grope another woman's buttocks at the dinner. Responding to the paper's allegations, Salama tweeted a statement affirming that, quote, today's Nebraska Examiner report about Charles Herbster sexually assaulting me in 2019 when I was 22 years old is true. I indirectly referenced the assault in a February 2022 floor speech in the legislature and prayed I would never have to relive this trauma. Quote, when the Nebraska Examiner contacted me about a witness account of the assault and the 7 other women who shared their stories, I was not going to deny the truth, she added. I am not seeking media attention or any other gain. I simply was not going to lie and say it did not occur. I would request my family's privacy be respected at this difficult time, end quote. According to the Examiner, 6 women told the Nebraska Examiner that Herbster touched them inappropriately when they were saying hello or goodbye to him, or when they were posing for a photograph by his side. The women said Herbster groped them on their buttocks, outside of their clothes, during political events or beauty pageants. Each woman said she was grabbed, not inadvertently grazed by Herbster. A 7th woman said Herbster once cornered her privately and kissed her forcibly. All the incidents occurred between 2017 and this year, according to those involved. The women ranged in age from their late teens to mid 20s at the time of the incidents. Hey, Cams. Hey, Tabitha. Other than Salama, all of Herbster's accusers spoke to the Examiner on condition of anonymity, with some saying they feared the candidate's wealth and power, and others expressing concerns for their careers or over how their families and churches would react. 2 of the women said they are considering filing police reports. Quote, being a conservative Republican woman in politics, you just expect to be treated with respect, one of the women told the Examiner, quote, to be treated in that way in a public place in front of everyone just to prove I believe that he could get away with it and not having recourse is terrifying. Quote, I'm scared for any young woman that he would be dealing with in the future, she added. Don't send your daughters to work for this guy. The paper continues. by saying the Nebraska Examiner corroborated six of the women's accounts with at least one witness to each incident. The other two women told at least one person about the incident on the same day it occurred. Each witness and confidant confirmed the woman's description of what happened. One witness said he saw Herbster grope a woman during a large conservative gathering and was appalled. The witness, a combat veteran, asked the woman if she wanted him to intervene. She asked him to restrain himself because she didn't want to cause a scene. A witness to a different incident showed the examiner a photograph of a young woman posing with a group up after meeting Herbster. Herbster's arm is stretched behind the woman just below her waist. That's in a photograph. Both the woman and the witness have confirmed that Herbster was grabbing the woman's buttocks at the time. Herbster is endorsed by Trump, who in 2015 appointed him chair of the White House Agriculture and Rural Advisory Committee, as well as his son, Donald Trump Jr., who joined the candidate on a three-city campaign tour Wednesday. According to recent polling, Herbster is the front runner in the GOP gubernatorial primary. In the wake of Thursday's report, Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts and every female state senator, including five Republicans, condemned Herbster's alleged behavior. Quote, this is beyond horrible, Ricketts said in a statement, adding that Herbster, quote, should beg forgiveness of the women he has preyed upon and seek treatment. Sexual assault is criminal behavior and should disqualify anyone from elected leadership. A mess. The bipartisan group of 15 state senators said that, quote, this is not a question of politics. It is an issue of character and basic human decency. Charles Herbster's behavior is completely unacceptable for anyone, especially someone seeking a public office of authority and trust. Herbster's actions, as outlined by the Nebraska Examiner, render him unfit to serve. For his part, Herbster denied the allegations as libelous and, quote, 100% false, end quote, while blasting the Examiner as, quote, libelous fake news, end quote, by a, quote, leftist news site. Herbster is the owner and CEO of a half dozen agribusiness and manufacturing companies, including Conklin Company, which bills itself as being, quote, dedicated to having a positive impact on the future of America while building a business to the glory of God. You do see this side eye, right? Where were you, white Republican women, in 2015 and 16 when your demigod, Donald John Trump, was accused of assaulting more than 2 dozen women and admitted on tape to grabbing women by the pussy because he could. So clearly, and y'all endorsed this guy, y'all followed him. He's your fucking demigod. But y'all around here now, you got a problem now. Oh, nobody who's groping people, nobody who's groping people should be in public office. Really? Oh, so it's a problem now. But it wasn't a problem when it was your demigod, right? I'm just saying. Uh, Inquiring minds want to know. Because now all of a sudden you see the light. Now all of a sudden it's oh such a big problem. If anything, he's following suit with what you people endorse. If anything, he's going right in line with what y'all like. Hey Tracy, the shit that confuses me is how you are saying that you're gonna have a problem at your church because some man assaulted you. You're the victim, you're the one that was assaulted, but you have already figured out that your church is gonna have a problem with you. What the fuck kind of church y'all going to? This is just my first story, y'all. I ain't even cracked this. This is story number one. What do y'all want me to do with that? Now all of a sudden Y'all have morals and all of this stuff. Now it's a problem for a man to grope a woman, but y'all had no problems backing a man who admittedly told you that he could grab a woman by the pussy whenever he wanted to because y'all like it. He could assault women. A man who's been accused of assaulting over 2 dozen women. And y'all ain't have no parts, want no parts of hearing that. Y'all didn't want no parts of him being arrested. Y'all didn't want no parts of him having any repercussions or anything. Matter of fact, y'all applauded him, y'all celebrated him, and he is your demigod. Don't look for me to feel bad for you. Sorry. Sorry, because until you act like you get real serious about this and real serious about people who do this, not just when it's for your political gain, mm-mm, not here for it. Not here for it. Child, you saw the Nature Boy video, Tabitha? Just a mess. Child, Tracy be on it. Honey. Shout out to Tracy. She be on it. That Nature Boy is a guy that they got him down in DeKalb County, honey. Child, a damn mess. Child. But this is what we got going on in the great state of Nebraska. Nebraska. Just saying. I'm just saying. But all of a sudden, y'all have these. Y'all done found y'all morals and scruples about y'all. Child, if y'all don't go sit the fuck down somewhere, I don't even know where to go because there's so much going on. Well, here's what y'all got going on in all over the country. So we reported earlier this week on the fact of that if this is the same, we're all in one week. This is all during the day. On I think that was what Monday we reported on Oklahoma and Governor Stitt signing the bill, the abortion bill. You know, child. So yet in this very same week, y'all hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. Had to um child, he been back in the States. Remember, he had moved back in the States some years ago. I think when he left South America, did he go to Hawaii after he left South America? Or did he leave Hawaii to go to South America? One of the two. But because remember, he had got in trouble in South America, I mean, in Hawaii, and had got in trouble in South America. But I knew he had been in Atlanta for some time. Now, I knew he had been in Atlanta, I want to say, since like last year. Yeah, I think but he wasn't telling a whole lot of people that he was in Atlanta. But I think he got to Atlanta because I know somebody who lives like down the street from him or from their house or whatever. And they were like, "Yeah, that Nature Boy guy." I said, "I remember." And this was like last year sometime. Child, child, girl, child. Anyway, so women, women. not all women, white women. See, let's just go ahead and start this episode with white women and why I have no understanding for them. That first story, you white women around here, now y'all got a problem with being groped and grabbed, but y'all have no problem with Donald Trump groping and grabbing people. I don't feel bad for y'all. And white women now that there is a complete onslaught, a complete on attack on women's rights because you white women wanted to vote Republicans in positions of power in these states. You white women wanted Donald Trump in there, who lined the judiciary and who lined the Supreme Court with people who wanted no parts of you women having your own rights to your bodies. Now you see the repercussions. Do not come back now. Don't try to be out here in the streets all, have your marches and screaming and protesting now. Where was this energy when y'all stinking asses was around here putting these people in positions of power? Because y'all had no problem when y'all thought it was just, oh, they gonna attack the black people and the Hispanic people. Oh, they just gonna attack the gays. That ain't got nothing to do with us. White women, we're good because all we got to do is use our weapon of choice, our magical little powerful white women tears, and we'll be good. What is that doing for you now, sweetheart? How is that helping you now, dear one? Love bug, doll baby. Mm-hmm. 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 And for some of y'all, this might be a history lesson because most, not all, I'm not gonna say all, but a whole lot of those women who were part of the abolition, white women that were part of the abolitionist movement back in the 17 and 1800s, really weren't here for black people. They just knew that they weren't going to get their rights probably until black people got their rights. Either that or they wanted to utilize all of the resources, all of the innovation and ingenuity and intellect of the black people and some of the other abolitionists and use that to their own um, for their own authority. Because they, let's be clear, they didn't give a shit whether or not we was free or not. All they wanted was their rights as white women. Not all of them, but a whole lot of them. Go ahead and look up the real history of Susan B. Anthony, and you really see how that woman felt about black people. You'll learn some things. I don't have no understanding for white women, none at all. No use for them, no understanding for them. And I'm not saying people can't love who they love, but every time I see, a black man over here kowtowing to some white woman and over here, talk about this is the love of my life, I look at them like, and just want to vomit in my mouth because it's disgusting. But I can't tell people who to love. Moving on, back to what I was talking about as I went on my soapbox. You got goddamn Oklahoma signed into law their damn near total ban on abortions. Total ban on abortions this week. Okay, just just basically said no abortions here. So now I told we what have we what's been our mantra for months and months and months, damn near years now. These states, they make somebody goes out there first, they become the blueprint, and the rest of the states follow suit. Okay, the rest of the states follow suit, and so now what you got going on is when Texas was allowed to continue with their abortion bill, everybody else said, "Oh, that's what they're doing." You saw Alabama got theirs in there real early. Oh, Alabama still can keep theirs. All right, so we here for it. So now you had Oklahoma signed the law on Monday, and now we have Florida as well as Kentucky. Let me get to the great state of Kentucky first, where we have Ninja Turtle Mitchell McConnell is their representative in the United States Senate. According to the ACLU, they say that they are suing the GOP, the Kentucky GOP, because they have enacted a draconian abortion ban. It is a race to the bottom at this point, Cams. Child. The ACLU and Planned Parenthood announced late Wednesday that they are suing Kentucky after the state's GOP dominated legislature voted to override the Democratic governor's veto of a sweeping 15-week abortion ban, and an extreme measure inspired by the Mississippi law that is currently before the United States Supreme Court. Told you. What happened was they pushed that bill through their Democratic, I mean their Republican legislature. They got on the desk of the Democratic governor. He said, "Hell no, we ain't here for this bullshit." Veto. It went back. The Republican legislature said, "Hell no, bitch. We don't give a shit about your veto. We have a supermajority over here, and your veto means nothing to us. Matter of fact, we just sent it over to you just for pomp and circumstance. It just, it was just just so we could say we did it. But we was gonna get this through anyway." And it came back to the legislature, and they said, "Oh, we got a supermajority. Let's just go ahead and vote this through and shove the middle finger up the ass of the Democratic governor with no lubrication and with nails." Problem? Is there a problem? Not only do you have that, also this week on the very same day, I told you these people, they get the blueprint. The great state of Florida. I'm sorry, not the same day, the next day, excuse me. The ACLU now in Florida promises legal action against Governor Death Sentence DeSantis, who also signed a quote 15-week abortion ban. You see what we got going on here? See, let's be clear. The Texas bill was not is a law that allows for civil lawsuits against someone who has an abortion. It's not an abortion ban, but the Mississippi bill is a ban on abortion at 15 weeks. And that magic number is 15 weeks because they believe that they have the backing of the United States state Supreme Courts that would allow it at 15 weeks. And that's why they have the 15-week ban. That's why you see, and those other governors all around the country have already gotten word from inside of the Supreme Court of the United States that all of them are here for it. Amy Coney Barrett, Justice Gorsuch, Justice Kavanaugh. You don't even need to ask about Clarence Thomas. You see what I'm saying? Who did I say? Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Coney Barrett, Clarence Thomas, and who's the other one over there? Oh God, why I can't think of this man name. But they got their five. They already got their five. They ain't think about y'all. They got their five. They don't give a shit how y'all feel. Okay? So that's why the 15-week abortion is in it. And that's why you see all these other states following suit. 15-week. Now, Oklahoma, that shit might be thrown out with the bathwater. Oklahoma just trying to go way too far. Alito, thank you, Justice Alito, thank you. No, I want to talk about Justice Roberts. Justice Roberts, he's the Chief Justice, and sometimes he will align himself inside with the liberal side. He is a true swing vote. Like he'll go either way. Justice Alito ain't here for going either way. He's conservative. Okay. So Governor Ron death sentence signed on today, yesterday, he signed into law HB 5, a bill passed by the Florida Republican legislature earlier this month that would ban abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy and criminalize doctors who offer abortions care to patients after that point. So, what you got going on here, there's a race to make sure that they already have it on the books. There's a race to make sure they already have it on the book. We already talked about on Monday how you got some Democratic governors like Governor Whitmer up in Michigan that's trying to do everything they can to get old arcane abortion laws off the books, because the only reason that abortion law in Michigan is illegal is because of Roe v. Wade. But if Roe v. Wade falls, that law becomes law of the great state of Michigan again. And she's trying to get it off the books now before, because she can see the writings on the wall with what's about to happen to abortion rights and women's rights in this country. Listen, let me help you understand something. Women, not all women, but I'll specifically speak to a large majority of white women. White women, you caused this. And now y'all all on TV crying, kicking, screaming, talk about y'all having marches, talk about y'all protesting here, this, that, and the third. But y'all was over here voting for people who you knew did not have your best interest at hand. And you want us to feel bad for you? Not here for it. Mm-mm. I think Roberts is going to get more liberal as time goes on. He is concerned about the legitimacy of the Supreme Court, but that horse is already that horse already left the barn. That horse already has left the barn. You are right about that. He has, if you notice, he has started to lean more liberal because I think he sees the writings on the wall that this is his, you know, even though you have justices that come in and out of the Supreme Court, each iteration of the Supreme Court is determined by who's Chief Justice. So this iteration of the Supreme Court, the Roberts iteration of the Supreme Court, is we're at a seminal moment in the tenure of this Supreme Court. We're at a moment in the last couple of years where that court has, you know, shifted, and we don't know that there ever be a shift back. I'm not saying I'm saying during Justice Chief Justice Roberts's court. I'm not saying it will never be that way because I don't want to deal in superlatives, but I think for Chief Justice Roberts um court, the moment that Donald Trump became president and he packed the court with all of those conservative judges, changed the Roberts Supreme Court. And I don't know that in Chief Justice Roberts' lifetime that his court will change. Not unless a couple of people get called home early. And by called home early, I mean before we get to doggone November of this year. Because I'm telling you, the bloodbath is coming November of this year. There's a bloodbath coming. Please be clear. In another 7 months, there's a bloodbath coming. I'm just letting you know. So that's what we got going on all over the country. You got abortion laws being put on the books all over the country. You get abortion laws. You get abortion laws. You get abortion laws. You get abortion laws. Everybody gets abortion laws. I told y'all this was coming on this very platform 2 years ago. I told y'all this was coming. 2 years ago, we talked about this. Sure did. Right here. I told y'all this was coming. When you're right as much as I am, you don't have to brag about it. White women, you caused this. Don't get mad. Do not get mad. That's what we got going on in women's rights around the country. I'm trying to see, is there anything else I can cover before I go straight sugar spiky? This is a real quick, should be a real quick in and out, here. Just a real quick one. So, the GOP, child, listen, we are we on season 3 of The Handmaid's Tale in real life. Okay, we're already in season 3. Okay, if you need us, Tabitha is just a mess. Child. So the GOP, the Republican Party, the grand old party, has voted to withdraw from presidential debate panels. Let me read this to you. The Republican National Committee voted Thursday to withdraw from the commission responsible for organizing presidential debates. taking a line from former President Trump, who has repeatedly leveled accusations of anti-Republican bias in against the group. The unanimous vote by the Republican National Committee effectively bars its presidential nominees from participating in events organized by the Commission on Presidential Debates, which has run such debates since 1988. In a statement released shortly after the vote, RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel said the GOP would, quote, find newer, better debate platforms to ensure future nominees are not forced to go through the biased CPD in order to make their case to the American people, end quote. Quote, debates are an important part of the democratic process, and the RNC is committed to free and fair debates. The Commission on Presidential Debates is biased and has refused to enact simple and common sense reforms to help ensure fair debates, including hosting debates before voting begins and selecting moderators who have never worked for candidates on the debate stage. End quote. Thursday's vote makes good on a threat that the RNC had been holding over the CPD for months. In another escalatory step, the RNC warned the commission last month against fundraising off the idea that the next GOP nominee will participate in the 2024 debates. The CPD was founded in 1987 with the sponsorship of both major political parties. And while both Democrats and Republicans have complained occasionally over the years how the commission handles debates, antipathy toward the group um, has grown among Republicans in recent years amid Trump's criticism on the commission. Should Trump mount another bid for the White House in 2024 and secure the GOP nomination, the RNC rule change virtually guarantees that he won't participate in the traditional debate calendar. Of course, if the Republicans tap someone else for the nomination, the party could always change its rules again, and the eventual nominee will likely have the ultimate say on whether to participate. A mess. Hey, Amber. Listen, I really feel like they say that, oh, the debates are there because they could help sway, you know, voters who are on the fence, undecided voters. I don't believe no parts of that. People, um, it's more so what they do on the campaign trail, the statements that they make, on the campaign trails in magazines, the scandals that come out, the things that they promise and things like that. I do not I'm not saying that nobody gets swayed by the debates, but I would venture to say it's a very small, minuscule number of people who are swayed by the debates. So if you want to do away with the debates altogether, I really won't care. And in this divisive day of politics in these yet to be United States of America, people are dug into the ground, and people have decided where they're gonna go. They ain't changing their mind. Not on no debates. They already know who they want, and they ain't swaying one way or another. People gonna profess to be, y'all excuse the background noise people here at the house. People gonna profess to be undecided voters, but let's be clear. People, most of them have decided. They done dug their feet in. Child, child. I mean, to me, by the time, remember last election cycle, the debates were so late in the game. Like we had debates, like I want to say, like weren't they like all in September or all in October? Like they were very, very late in the campaign this last election cycle, where at that point people was already dug in, like there was really no change in people's mind. But child, Donald Trump don't want to debate because Donald Trump Donald Trump can't win a debate on what his name is, much less a debate on real political issues. Let's just be clear. Child. And while Donald Trump may not be able to answer the debate, I'm just scared some of the Democratic candidates are going to say the wrong thing and alienate so much of their base that they're going to lose votes that way. It's just a damn mess. So it's political posturing because, like the article said, if somebody else besides your former president, Cheeto Man, gets this gets the GOP nomination, listen, please be clear. Governor death sentence and or Governor Abbott, who looks like some of the front runners, even though I do believe now, Tabitha, excuse me, Tabitha, you're gonna hate that I say this, but I've heard in some of my intel that a real dark horse is your boy out of Florida, Trick Scott. That's what I heard. He's a dark horse. That's what I really heard. But that's what I've heard some places. Child. A mess. Anyway, that's the political posture of the and if it's not Donald Trump, whoever it is, they're going to need the stage of the presidential debates. They need that stage so that they can do all of their posturing all over the place. They need that stage. If it's not Cheeto Man. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. I don't think I've done everything I can to avoid it, but you know what time it is. It's time for sugar spike, sugar spike, sugar, 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 sugar spike, sugar spike, sugar spike, sugar, 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 sugar spike, sugar spike, sugar spike, sugar, 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 sugar spike, sugar spike, sugar spike, sugar, 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 sugar spike. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our sugar spike. Go ahead, let me go ahead and open this Generation Z pack of lemonades. God, dear Lord. Let me see what it tastes like. It is. It is real soft and chewy. Soft ass Generation Z. My lemonades weren't sweet like this. They were tart. They were hard. They make you go. That's the lemonades I grew up with. That mess right there, that ain't no lemonade. I don't know what the hell that is. It's not a lemonade. Well, from what I'm hearing, Tabitha, the GOP has said that death sentence is just is trying too hard to be Trump 2.0, which could alienate parts of the base that they need to win. Um, Governor Hot Wheels, now this is what they're saying, not me. Don't kill the messenger. Governor Hot Wheels is not going to fit the bill for the inappropriate reason of the fact that he's infirm, he's handicapped, he's in a wheelchair. Which and little things poll well. For example, they say that a presidential nominee has to have hair. He can't be balding or bald. Go back and look at the pictures. Last time we had somebody that was kind of balding, no, because he still had hair there. I was thinking about H.W. Bush, not W. Bush, but H.W. Bush. But you got to go back. Who's the last bald president? Nixon was the last one that was balding. So little things like that, the fact that he's handicapped doesn't bode well for him, you know. And he and death sentence have done a whole lot of things that kind of alienate that alienate a lot of people. Bobo would say he will roll over I'm not doing this with you, Bobo. But Trick Scott can do all of those things, go all of those places, but doesn't have the blood on his hands of all of these um, laws that he put in place that they know it. Now, we know if you're from Florida, you know about all these laws that he put in place. But if you're not from Florida, Trick Scott wasn't a national name when he was governor, kind of the way um, death sentences become a national name as governor. So Trick Scott can come in there and have the appeal of not having that much blood on his hands. And so he can win over some of those Republican votes that they might have lost in the 2020 election. That's what they said. He's a dark horse. He's a dark horse, from what I understand. Just a mess. Just a mess. Anyway, um, so let's start with our sugar spikes. I mean, Rick Scott, excuse me, Trick Scott, as we like to call him. Um, but Rick Scott ain't shit. Remember, Rick Scott stole money from people when he was CEO of that hospital or whatever, that hospital organization. Just a mess. No, I call him Trick Scott. I'm talking about Rick Scott, former governor Rick Scott of Florida. I call him Trick Scott because he ain't nothing but a trick. But I'm talking about former governor of the state of Florida, Rick Scott, who gets on my nerves. Now he runs into the problem of the fact that he is bald, and that doesn't bode well for him. I'm just saying. Child, believe they're gonna have a whole handicap ramp for Governor Hot Wheels. Child, imagine them having a whole ramp for him to go and get up on. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to have the whole, thing of him going and walking up to Marine One helicopter. I mean, is he gonna have a whole ramp and stuff like that? Like, how this gonna work? Like, they gonna have the whole, if they gonna have the thing like for Air Force One, they gonna have the thing like they have on people's staircase at their house where they have the little chair hanging down on the railing at the bottom, and it zips him all the way up. This is so horrible that I'm saying that, but Governor Hot Wheels is a horrible person. Governor Hot Wheels is a horrible person. Governor Hot Wheels is a horrible individual. So I have no sympathy or empathy for him. In sugar spiky news, the great state of Tennessee has a state senator who offers Hitler, oh yes, that Hitler, as inspiration for homeless people. A Tennessee state senator on Wednesday used Adolf Hitler as an example of inspiration and hope for the homeless during a speech on the floor of the state's upper chamber. If you need him, call him if you need him. Tennessee State Senator Frank Nicely, Republican, made his remarks on the state Senate floor during a debate on a bill to make camping or soliciting along state highways or exit ramps a misdemeanor. Nicely said that he was going to give his fellow lawmakers a quote history lesson end quote, adding that in 1910 Hitler took to the streets and practiced his oratory and his people skills. Quote, Hitler decided to live on the streets for a while. So for 2 years, Hitler lived on the streets and practiced oratory and his body language and how to connect with the masses, and then went on to lead a life that got him into history books. End quote. He also said, quote, so a lot of these people, it's not a dead end. They can come out of this. These homeless camps and have I'm sorry, they can come out of these homeless camps and have a productive life, or in Hitler's case, a very unproductive life. I support this bill. End quote. A mess. Oh, these are the people who y'all vote for on this other side. Now, I'm not saying that I'm here for all of the stuff that the Dems do, because and someday in the very near future, I'm gonna go much deeper into this Chantel Brown versus Nina Turner race up there in Ohio, because I keep telling y'all the Chantel Brown being supported by the Democrat establishment and supported by Republican donors. Oh, yes, Chantel Brown, the one who the Democratic establishment poured money into because they didn't want any parts of Nina Turner, because Nina Turner is a real progressive and Chantel Brown ain't shit over there. She ain't no real progressive. She joined the Progressive Party, I mean the Congressional Progressive Caucus, so she could have that title, because they have there's no there's nothing stopping from somebody who's not progressive from becoming a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. It doesn't work like that. So she joined the Congressional Progressive Caucus, so it will look like she's a progressive when she's really not. And when she has the backing, her voting record does not display that, and she has the backing of Republican donors, quite a few Republican donors who want her to win because they want no parts of Nina Turner, who's an actual progressive and who's actually going to do things to help the people. But why would Republican? Because why else would Republican donors want to support somebody who's a Democratic primary candidate? Anyway, that's gonna be an expose I have to do once I get all my pieces together. But anyway, so what you're telling me, State Senator, what you're telling me, State Senator Frank Nicely, is you want one of these homeless people to be like Hitler, meaning you want them to live on the street, practice their oratory skills, become an evil dictator, and kill millions of people. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. This is what y'all got going on. Moving on. Next story. I'm gonna save Lyoya for my last story for today. All right, let's get to this one. California woman killed after Stockton police fired 30 shots into her car. That is 30. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Listen, Jim Clyburn is wrapped all up into that canvas. I don't have nothing. I do not have it for Jim Clyburn at all. Do not like him at all. Want no parts of Jim Clyburn. But I told you I'm gonna do a whole expose on that, because that's a whole story in itself. That Nina Turner, Chantel Brown race up there in Ohio is indicative of what the Democratic Party likes to do, which is the same thing they did up there for the Buffalo mayoral race up there with India Walton. Remember that? The same thing. A mess. They want no parts of the progressives. They want the progressive vote, They want no parts of real progressive candidates. A mess. A damn mess. Don't get me started. Anyway, let me tell you all about this story. Tracy, I guess that's Geta, Gaeta. I'm gonna say that's Geta. Tracy Geta, who was 54 years old, was shot and killed by a Stockton police officer after backing her car into a police vehicle, reported NBC News. Lawyers for her family say the officer used excessive force and that she never threatened anyone, nor was she armed. K-9 officer Kyle Rivera fired more than 30 shots into her car on February 22nd. The body camera footage of the incident was released April 7th. The police department said the incident began with Geta when Geta was seen on surveillance striking a police SUV at a red light. She was pursued by Rivera, stopped at a dead end, and stopped at a dead end and backed into his car. According to the body camera video, Rivera then shot 18 shots into Guetta's car. Her vehicle reversed lights remain her her vehicle's reversed lights remained on, and Rivera fired several more shots. After changing his service weapons clip, Rivera yelled for the driver to raise her hands, according to the video. Guetta began driving, pulling forward several feet, then reversing away from Rivera. He opened fire again, shooting more than a dozen times, according to the video. Guetta was taken to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead, the department said. According to a policy adopted by the Stockton Police Department in 2019, officers are generally prohibited from firing into fleeing vehicles. Guetta's family attorney, Gary William, said the officer acted against the department's policies on firing at moving vehicles. Quote, no matter what is going on with her, even if she had committed a heinous crime, he didn't have the right to shoot her. She never threatened him, he said via NBC. A spokesperson for Stockton Police Department told NBC News a review of the incident was underway, which will end in a decision by the local district attorney's office on whether to place criminal charges against Rivera. Guetta's daughter, Tressie, called her a loving, caring grandmother in a statement from Williams's office. I hope that we can find justice because she did not deserve to die like that, she said. Let me give you her name again for those of my creators out there that like to have her name is Tracy Getter. That's Tracy is her first name. Last name is Gaeta. She was a mother and grandmother. Now, and this is going to help us lead into our last story of the day with Patrick Lyoya. You're going to hear in cases like this and cases like Patrick Lyoya, where Leoya, where they're continuing to say, oh, they were resisting. Oh, well, they didn't do the right thing. Oh, but this and that and this and that is the justification for what happened. No, no, because we've seen too many times that white people do the very same thing and far worse, and they don't have the same treatment. They don't. And let's be clear, as a police officer, your job is not to become judge, jury, and executioner. Your job is not to determine how justice happens for that person. You don't get to decide that it's time for them not to be here any longer. You don't get to make that decision as an officer, as a police officer. You do not get to make I don't care what that person does. You do not get to make the decision to take and end someone's life. I'm just saying. I mean, that's just the. I don't care what she did. You do not deserve. You do not get to take someone's life. Now, if even if you say, "Oh, she, violated the law, this, that, and the third." Okay, she backed into my squad car. She did this, that, and the third. There are ways to get her out of that car without ending her life. And like I said, we've seen on multiple times that you don't know what was going on. You don't know what state of duress mental duress that person was in. You don't know if they were having they could have been having a mental health episode or something. You don't know what's happening. But what you don't get to do is take that person's life. And you're going to see that over and over and over. Beautiful black woman. The fact that you are shooting 30 times, you unloaded your weapon, got another magazine, inserted another magazine, and unloaded again. Let's be clear. You were trying to end someone. Not only end someone, you were trying to send a message. You're just trying to send a message. Trying to send a message. But we know how this is going to end. We know how this is going to end. You shot into this woman's car 30 times. You by yourself. Now, and we're going to see this for the next case. I need to know why y'all are not calling for backup. If you are just that afraid for your safety, if you think there's just that much of a situation, don't at some point you need to be called. Why are people singing in my house? Dear God. Anyway, uh, but you need to call for backup. And in both cases, we don't see any call for backup. If you're that afraid, you need to call for backup. And you need to call for somebody else to come and help you with the situation. Because let's be clear, last time I checked, radio waves and radio signals travel faster than any car imaginable. There's not a car on the face of this earth that travels faster than radio signals. So even if they try to flee and get away, you have the benefit of your radio and can call and say, "Hey, I need backup. They're traveling down XXX Street, XXX Avenue, and I need people. Come on now. I'm afraid for my safety. Dot 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 dot." And when you say you're afraid for your safety, that doesn't then mean, okay, let me take out my gun and shoot somebody. What that means is, hey, I need y'all to help me. The suspect is trying to flee, resist, and trying to get away. Can somebody come help me? Do something. But what you don't need to do is pull out your gun and shoot people to death. I'm just saying. Right. Exactly, Cam. If you're that afraid for your safety, then you probably don't need to be a police officer. Everybody can't be a police officer. I say this all the time. I make this example all the time, and people think I just be making a stretch. Just like as a teacher, there's nothing that a student can do that would be make it okay for me to reach back and hit a student. There's nothing a student can do. I don't care what is going on. There's not a situation where I can reach back and hit a student. At the most, if the student is either injuring themselves or injuring someone else, to include me, I can restrain them, meaning hold their hands and or their feet and stop them from causing any more harm to anybody. But I don't get the liberty of saying, oh, because you hit me, because you slapped me, because you said something, because you threw something at me, because you hit me with something, that I'm going to reach back and just start wailing on you. I can't do that. That's a part of the policies, procedures, and protocols of my profession. I get trained on that type of stuff. I get professional development on how to de-escalate situations, how to deal with management situations, classroom management situations like that. And in the same vein, as a police officer, you should be getting some training that lets you know at no point, regardless of the situation, should you be ending someone's life. Even if I give you granted that There are times where I have to discharge my weapon. Your discharging of your weapon should not be, in my mind, for the purpose of execution. And that's where I think we fail in police training. They are trained when you pull that gun and you shoot, you're shooting to kill, as opposed to maybe shooting to stop them, disable them, or get them to not be able to. You shooting it to end their life, and that's the wrong answer. I don't think they should have guns. Anyway, not guns that can take a life. Maybe you want to have a rubber bullet or something like that. Maybe so, but I do not believe that they should have instruments that take people's lives. I don't care. Call me a wuss, call me whatever you want, but I do not believe police officers should have a weapon that can end someone's life. And as long as they have those weapons in their hands, people's lives are going to continue to be ended. Which leads us to our last story. So we reported on Monday. I spelled his name out. Did we not report this on Monday? We did. We reported on Monday about Patrick Leoya in what is that, Grand Rapids, Michigan. We reported that they had not on Monday that they had not yet released the body cam footage, but they would have released it by the 15th. What it was released, was it Wednesday? It was either released Wednesday or yesterday. Um, but I know I saw it. I saw the footage yesterday morning, and it was disturbing. Now, um, put a 27 in the chat if you saw this footage, the footage of Patrick Leoya and his death. Put a 27 in the chat if you saw it. This is so good. I think it was Wednesday, Diamond Pro Gym. Yeah, put a 27 in the chat. I don't see no 27, so it don't look like nobody saw it. Well, I saw it. It's readily available. You can find it easily. Oh, you saw a Diamond Pro Gym? Okay. If you Google it, you can find it. It's all over the place. All right. Here's the issue that we're going to have, because I can already see how this is setting up. No charges are going to come to that police officer. None at all. Let me see if I can describe to you what happened. They had, and when you watch the footage, they showed you several pieces of footage. They showed you the dash cam footage. They showed you, I think, the body camera footage. And then they had the footage that the friend that was in the car with him took with his cell phone, which gives you the best vantage point. That's the footage that gives you the best vantage point. But all three vantage points are on the same video. They go from one into the other to the other one. And there's a guy who's narrating what you're watching. All right. So so my thing about it is, here's what you have. You have the officer stops them. The officer stops him. He pulls over. There's Patrick Leoya and his friend in the passenger seat. Patrick, as the cop is getting out, immediately gets all the way out the car. Like, that's the first thing. He gets all the way out the car, like gets out. And so the officer's like, wait, no, stay in the car. He does not listen. Now, the one thing that I will say, Patrick did not follow order. Patrick wasn't trying to follow none of the orders that the guy gave. The guy said, stay in your car. Patrick got out the car, all the way out the car. Patrick is saying, why you pull me over? Dot, 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 dot. The guy says, your car is not registered to that license plate. Can I see your, driver's license and your, registration and insurance? So Patrick opens the door. Like, when you look at this video, Patrick did, how black people, you teach your kids what to do in this situation? You can tell Patrick ain't from the United States. Patrick don't know nothing about nothing, because what he did was the complete opposite of what anybody would tell you to do. Any complete opposite. Baby, The man said, I need Patrick opened the car door, reached in, got the stuff, came. It was just like so many things. So then um I forgot exactly what he said, but at one point the officer told him to do something. I think he told him to put his hands behind his back or something like that. Baby, Patrick starts struggling with him. Patrick starts running away from gets loose, and Patrick starts running away, running around the guy. Now, the guy now people are saying that it was a language barrier. Patrick was speaking English to the guy. Patrick knew. I ain't trying to play devil's advocate. I'm just telling you what I saw. Patrick did know enough to when the guy asked him to get his bike, he did go in the car to get his stuff. The guy, his friend, was speaking to him in English. The other guy sounded like he was African too. The friend, both of them sounded like they was African. They had African accents. They knew enough English to get like it wasn't like they were just learning English. They knew enough English to follow the commands. I would say that. Baby Patrick started running. The police officer ran after him. He tackles Patrick to the ground. They tussling on the ground. Patrick is wrestling with the police officer. The police officer pulls out the taser. Patrick grabs the taser. He grabbed the police officer's taser. Police says, "Let go of my taser. Let go of my taser." Patrick don't let the taser go. The Patrick gets up and starts running again. The police officer shoots him with the taser and starts tasing him. Patrick falls on the ground. Police goes over to Patrick to try and handcuff him again. Patrick grabs the taser again. Police officer says, "Let go of my taser, let go of my taser, let's go of my taser." And then um, Patrick is on the ground, like laid face down on the ground, like laid on the ground. But you could tell he was trying to get up. Police officer pulls out his gun and shoots him in the back of the head. Bam. That's kind of how that went. Now, I'm telling you from watching the video, um, nothing's going to happen to that officer. Nothing. I can tell you that now. They are going to say that, um, yeah, then I can see right now. I would venture to guess there's not going to even be charges pressed. I'd be very surprised if they press charges. And I'm not saying that they're right, but based on what I know about policing in these yet to be United States of America, there's going to be. I would be very surprised if he even had if there were even charges that were filed. If a district attorney or attorney general for or the attorney general for Minnesota. No, that's not Minnesota. That's Michigan. If the attorney general for Michigan filed charges. Did you see the video, Tabitha? Tabitha, you got to go watch the video because when I first listened to the father, and my heart went out to the father on Monday when when I heard him, and he was saying, "Oh, my son was shot execution style in the back of the head. He was laid on the ground with his arms back, and he was just shot execution style. It was so brutal, so horrible." And I was like, "Oh my God." When I watched the video, it was a different story. Now his son did get shot in the back of the head. The son absolutely got shot in the back of the head. Would it be considered execution style? Probably because of the proximity. But there was a lot that went on in between that. Now, but this is why I continue to say police officers should not have weapons that can take someone's life. Because even if Patrick isn't doing the right thing, when were you going to call for backup? And if it went that the video of the shooting, it's really not. Well, I'll say like this: when you watch the video, you don't see the shooting isn't until the very you can't really see the shooting until the last um video, because I told you there's three vantage points. There's the dash cam video, there's the body cam video, and then there's the video of the friend who would not a friend complied. The friend did nothing but stand by the car, but the friend had his video out, phone out, videotaping. So even if you say I can't watch something like that, it's not until the very, very, very end where the shooting happened, and it's really grainy. I'll say like this: a really grainy video, but it's not until the very last video. But the reason that I say when you watch the video, it becomes very apparent that nothing's going to happen here. Was there any attempt to de-escalate? I don't know, because remember, like I said from the very beginning, Patrick would when the police officer stopped him, um, Patrick started getting out the car, and the police said, "Hey, stay in your car, stay in your car." Patrick was hearing no parts of stay in your car. Patrick got all the way out the car and stood up like what? So I really feel like even if you're scared about watching the shooting, there's a police officer when you watch the video who's narrating, who tells you in 10 seconds is going to be the fatal. Like he's narrating, he says in another 10 seconds, that's when the fatal shot is given. And so he kind of to kind of let you know if you need to look away, just to look away. But I'm telling you, if you do go watch, there's three vantage points. You don't get to see the actual shooting until the very last vantage point, which is the vantage point of the friend who's holding the who has his cell phone out and is taping it. Now I wonder, there was a when you watch it, there's a house right next door, and it looks like people came out on the porch to watch what was going on. I wonder if they had a video of it as well that we just haven't seen yet. Um, but yeah, I absolutely feel like well, he grabbed the taser more than once. He grabbed the taser before the officer even had a chance to use the taser on him. When the officer first pulled the taser out, he grabbed the taser. You hear the officer say, let go of the taser, let go of the taser. Then Patrick gets up, Patrick runs, and then you hear the officer, the one that's narrating the actual video, says that sound you could did you hear the sound, and he said that sound you heard was the sound of the taser. So at that point, he tased Patrick again, and after that, Patrick must have grabbed the taser again, because you hear the officer even right before he gets shot says, "Let go of the taser, let go of the taser." This is again. And then after that, Patrick is on the ground face first. But from what I saw, because I watched the whole thing all the way through, he was trying to get up, and that's when the officer pulled out his gun and shot him. So it's 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 hard to say whether or not he tried to de-escalate it, because when Patrick started running away from the police and running all, it was kind of hard to kind of say I don't know. But yeah, I will say that the officer did not shoot him from the beginning. He did not. The first time he grabbed the taser, he did not try to shoot him. The officer did pull out his taser to try and tase him, because at that point, Patrick was doing it. He was running. Patrick said, "I ain't here for this." So Patrick started to, when Patrick, he pulled out the taser, and that's when Patrick grabbed the taser. And that's when he first told Patrick, let go of the taser, let go of the taser. Patrick let go of the taser. Patrick gets up and starts running some more. He gets police officer shoots him with the taser. Patrick at that point, and the officer gets on top of Patrick to try and handcuff him again. And Patrick must have grabbed the taser again. And he says, "Let go of the taser, let go." At no point during this time is the officer's gun out. Like the officer had the taser at this point. But then when you saw Patrick start to get up, I think the officer, you see him grab his gun, and then that's when he shoots her. It's very interesting. It's not as it goes back to what I said earlier. There has to be a change in policing in this country because I'm not, I don't necessarily say that this was a situation where I felt like the officer was afraid of him. If I'm being honest, I don't feel like that was the case here. I feel like this was a case where the officer gave you some things to do. You didn't comply with any of these things. You were doing your own thing, and and that's why I say an officer should not have on their on their person something that can take someone's life. You got your taser. Obviously, the taser did not work. Um, and either at that point, one or two things should have happened. If he gets up and starts running again, you need to immediately call for backup and say, "Hey, I'm trying to apprehend this suspect. He has run away from me. I have tased him. The taser did not work. I need help." Even if he runs off at a certain point, you can say he's on XXX Street and XXX Avenue. He ran behind this car or whatnot because he didn't have a gun. You knew he didn't have no weapon on him. You can continue to try and pursue him, give him orders, but should you pull out your gun and shoot him? Absolutely not. And this is where perhaps I say if you're going to have something, even if you say, okay, rubber bullets or something, I don't know what the answer is, but the answer at no point should be you having a gun that could take somebody's life. Let me see. Diamond Pearl says during the narration, it was stated the body cam stopped. The body cam did stop working. It was stated on the body cam footage. However, when you watch the footage, the footage with the friend's phone worked the whole time. That one never stopped. Like the friend's phone, you see it much more clear. Like the dash cam video gives you the best vantage point of what was happening around the car. Like when he first got out the car, everything with that. It was the friend's video, the friend that was in the car video that showed you what happened when they was in that yard. That gives you the best, and that gives you the best vantage point of the shooting itself. So, um, yeah. Um, this is sad, but Patrick should have just did what the officer said. If he had gotten a ticket to so be it. You can get fight a ticket. Right. Patrick from the beginning, Patrick did not comply. Patrick, you can tell, and his father admitted that they were recently, maybe a couple years ago, moved to the United States from Republic of Congo. So they weren't born and raised here in this country. And you can tell Patrick wasn't schooled on what to do. Because baby, the officer said, "Don't get out your car." Patrick immediately got the car out car and whatever. The officer says, "Where's your license and registration?" Patrick's movements alone was ones that we historically know people that got shot and killed for way less. But what I will say about the officer didn't panic in those situations. It was kind of like Patrick kept doing things that was taking us to a road that we didn't need to go down. And I think that's kind of where that went. Can you send me the videos you saw? I'm going to try and watch them. Yeah, I think before we just pass judgment, I think it's important that I'm not um let me see if I can put the video. I think the video's on here. Let me see. Because the videos I've seen on YouTube. I've seen the videos on YouTube. Yeah, this is yeah, because on the body cam video, you see Patrick grabbing the you see him grabbing the the taser. So now on the video I saw, this isn't a good video because the one I saw that had a really good vantage point was I saw that one on Roland Martin on YouTube. At on his video, you saw all of it. Like it really showed you everything. I'm gonna see if I can put that video in the chat because that's the one. Because I had seen one earlier, but the one I had saw earlier showed all three vantage points with the narration. But at the very, very end, when the shot was taken, it cut. But the one that I saw on Roland Martin that was on YouTube, it showed you the shooting and everything. Um, hold on. Hold on. Let me get this for y'all. Because I do think that before we, because even like I was talking to a friend of mine, and when we were talking about it on Monday, we were all on the same page. We were like, this is horrible. How dare they execute this person? My friend, who's a great friend of mine, um, talked about after he saw the video, he is completely on the other side. He's like, he was wrong on every straight. Like, I'm at least of the notion that the cops should not have shot him and killed him. My friend is on the complete other side of the argument, saying, he was way out of order, out of order. Like my friend was like, he was way out of order. I'm trying to see if I can find this video for y'all so we can because I want to because I do think that it gives much more context than what we necessarily have just hearing about it. Like it puts it in a whole different perspective. So um hold on. Let me see. Uh, I knew I saw this somewhere, y'all. Give me a moment. Cause I was like, oh, okay, here it is. Here it is right here. I found it. Found it. Oh, so even on the Roland Martin video, they have a YouTube put up a YouTube put up a warning. YouTube has a warning. So I'm gonna put this in the chat, and it's the first story that they do. They show the whole video. So let me put that in the chat so y'all can see it. It is the very first story that they do. Um, and so, but yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, it's that was my last story of the day anyway. But I really and I'm pulling up my chat now so I can put this in. But I really would be very surprised if there were even charges. I know how the criminal justice system works, and I would be very surprised if there's even charges brought. All right, there's the video right there. That right there is the video. Um, yeah. So that's the video. If you need a timestamp on where to start, timestamp is um timestamp is 2 minutes and 5 seconds. I'm sorry, 10 minutes, 5 seconds. All right, so 10 minutes, 5 second mark is where it starts. All right. Um, yeah, that's the timestamp. 10 minute, 5 seconds. That's when it starts. Because I'd be very surprised. Tabitha, hit me up in my inbox on Instagram so I can see what you think after you watch it. Because it does kind of change your perspective when you watch it. So that's the timestamp, 10 minute, 5 seconds. Um, that's all I got for y'all today. We about to get up out of here. I thank y'all for being here. Well, let me do this the right way. Hold on. Oh, I owe y'all 2 times. Oh shit. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. Tell your friends to come on over and see us. Hit the notification bell and hit all so that you are reminded each and every time that we go live. Oh, God. I hate that I have to do that. I got one more time to do it. All right. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. Hit the notification bell and press all so that you are reminded each and every time that I go live or that I upload a video. You can also join and become a member. You can even hit my Cash App if you want right there and donate to the channel. That's my 3 times. I ain't got to do it no more. Anyway, as I always say, thank y'all for being here. I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal president active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. Y'all are always good to me, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow morning, I'm either going to do a early silly Saturday or I'm going to do a afternoon silly Saturday. It's going to be one of the two because I have some things to do tomorrow. So either I'm going to do silly Saturday early, or and y'all, I guess I'm gonna have y'all look at the replay, or I'm gonna have to do a one later in the afternoon. I'll probably end up doing it later in the afternoon, depending on if what I got to do in the morning. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.